we generated around 560 plus million impressions organically. Those
creating property cards for the first time for people owning houses in the rural areas.
We have a patent on a bits technology, which...
But we were really guided by what we wanted it to be.
In terms of the content consumption pattern has changed.
Very competitive, very crowded.
The objective is basically to democratize cancer care.
I see a very bright future for retail industry.
Technology now allows us to scale up.
We also want to help patients become more compliant.
If I look at the custom solutions market, it's almost about $1,500 billion.
Your customers will not continue to be with you if you don't change here.
We had adopted digitalization much earlier.
Within a very short span of time, we are the number one operator in the whole of South India.
If you are reaching out to a lakh people today, you would be reaching out to an entire globe tomorrow.
We got those two brands and then immediately got into a few of the LFRs and there was no looking back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 35th episode of Ascent Talks. Before I actually introduce, I want to thank each of you guys for all the sharings and all those viewerships that we've been getting. Viewerships have been the highest and, of course, on the podcast channels too. So thanks for sharing all that. So my name is Ajit Panikar, and I'm an Ascent member for 10 years, and I lead Nova, an air conditioning company, and Pure Blue, a tech-enabled startup in the air conditioning domain. And as usual, my co-host is Aleem. How are you doing, buddy?
Fantastic, and good morning everyone. Good morning and welcome to Ascent Talks. My name is Aleem. I run an advertising and marketing company here in Mumbai, and we're very excited to have you on the 35th episode. 35 is a very lucky number for me because I always wanted that many marks to pass. So...
Well, you did well, my buddy. You did well. For all you guys who are joining us for the first time, a quick intro to Ascent. Ascent is a non-profit organization founded by Harsh Mariwala, Chairman Marico Limited, and his deep passion for identifying promising entrepreneurs in the growth stage. Its primary objective is to support these entrepreneurs in expanding their enterprises and enhancing their entrepreneurial journey. Since its establishment in 2012, Ascent has successfully empowered over 850 entrepreneurs throughout India. Ascent stands out as a remarkable platform that fosters peer-to-peer collaboration, leveraging the collective strength of its members. And at the heart of this platform are self-facilitated groups called the trust groups, where entrepreneurs come together to share their experiences, exchange ideas, and provide invaluable insights. By creating such a vibrant ecosystem for learning and growth, Ascent enables its members to benefit from each other's knowledge and expertise. Ascent Talks, which takes place on a weekly basis, showcases the journey of Ascent members, highlighting their fascinating entrepreneurial experiences. So let's bring in our guest today, Aleem.
Absolutely. Welcoming Preeti Sharma. She's the director at Pragati Software. She's an MBA from Mumbai University and Global Executive MBA from Barcelona. She has over 37 years of experience, primarily in marketing. She started her career in 1987 with NOSIL. She then started Pragati Software and looks after marketing and business development. And she's also the recipient of the Outstanding Woman Entrepreneur in 2007 award, jointly constituted by the FICCI Ladies Organization, Barcelona Chambers of Commerce, and Manhattan Chamber of Commerce. She's been associated with the Sherry Blair Foundation for their mentorship program, where she has been part of the first worldwide pilot program that ended in July 2011. She's also currently appointed as one of the board of directors from India for IESE Barcelona, Spain. Welcome, Preeti Sharma, to the show, and we're excited to have you and learn more about what you do.
Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure to be here on the 35th session. Like 35 is lucky for me also, so good for that. I'm also in numerology, so 8 is a good number. You know?
Oh.
That's good. It is a number of hard work.
For me, it was a number of just getting to the next class. But yeah, Preeti, tell us, what do you do? What is unique about Pragati Software, and what exactly is the potential you see in this?
Yeah. So basically, Pragati Software is an IT training company, and we provide IT training solutions which are customized for the corporate world. So when we say IT, we are basically putting the subjects into three different categories. So one is the office automation tools, one is programming languages, and one is emerging technologies. There are three different baskets where we do programs. And these programs are typically designed for corporates, which means they are quick programs. We don't have too much time. The corporate world doesn't have too much time to have long sessions. So typically a session would be probably 16 hours, or it could be the max time we would take to teach a technology would be 5 days. So maximum would be 60 hours. So these are all fast-paced programs where we expect people to understand how to use a particular technology and give them a quick start to then figure out how to use it in an advanced way. So that is where we stand. Today, we have more than 250 customers who train with us. Our top customers are fintech of the country. So most fintechs we have worked with, and we continue to work with them, because fintech is an area where a lot of technology enablement has happened since COVID, and even prior to COVID, when we had the demat. A lot of things are moving towards technology in the fintech market. So that is what we do.
It's amazing. Yeah. So, Preeti, one of the questions that I have in my mind is, what are the kind? You're into edtech training, and that's also into. You spoke about corporates. I want you to actually tell our viewers what are the kind of opportunities that this industry holds, and also I want you to especially touch upon, as small business, or what we call as the MSMEs. Are they in any way involved in training? Because if you ask any MSME, that training is not my job. I mean, I always want trained people available. I can't afford training. And let's be honest about it. Their margins are also not so big that they can afford all these, what the corporates can do it. So throw us some light into both these, the opportunities and the MSME training.
Yes. So the Indian edtech industry is expected to reach US 4 billion by 2025. Okay. And for us, the biggest challenges in the country that the NASSCOM studies say 70 to 80% of the engineering and IT graduates are unemployable. So these are students who are doing the courses, they are getting the degrees, they're probably getting some good marks there, 90%, whatever, but they don't really know their core subject. And I'm sure you would have seen it. You find a candidate walking in, when you ask deeper questions, you realize they really have not done the work which is needed for the job. So there is a huge skill gap in the country. And what the IT industry and what the other bigger companies are doing is they recognize that there is a skill gap, and they recognize that they will need to be much more proactive to then address this skill gap. And that is why they have designed, along with companies like Pragati Software, very structured training programs so that they are able to then fit the gap and say, okay, now you attend this program at Pragati Software, come back, and now you know Java very well, or you know Python very well, or you know Excel very well, or you know macros very well. So they are very clear that they will need to get people trained. In fact, many times these companies have training during the induction. When they join, they have 3 months of IT training. Sometimes they start the IT training even before the student joins. So maybe in the last semester of engineering or the last year of engineering, they start training. For us as SMEs, the learning is that we should try to help our employees by providing these formal training programs to do their work much faster. Problem an SME thinks no person will join, he will learn on the job, some other fellow will teach him, he'll figure it out. To my mind, today the turnaround time of any employees between 18 to 24 months or even 36 months, the new generation. So we as SMEs, we don't have that much time to even get the worth back. It would be a better idea to train the person in the beginning when they join on whatever gap they have. And especially the gap tends to be more of technology, among other things, because technology is moving so fast that the person doesn't even have the mindset of technology. So it's all about changing the mindset of the SME in terms of taking people who will come and you train them immediately and get them to work. So the concept of training should be there. Let me also tell you, Ajit, that trainings are not very costly. So the trainings which we provide, they are very value priced. So the SMEs don't have to worry. It's just that they have never thought about this option. People haven't thought that, okay, there is a company like Pragati who'll take the responsibility, who'll train your guy on Excel, who'll probably train him on Java, who'll train him on something, and I'll get a ready-made guy to join within 5 days or 10 days. If you were to divide their salaries and see the training cost, it's really not high. It's a very good idea.
The challenge that we as entrepreneurs face is, when we are recruiting somebody, he says, why do you want to join this company? He says, sir, I want to learn. So I said, then go to a college, yaar. What do I have to pay for you to learn? And still they don't know the skill. It's a challenge. I completely agree with you.
Yeah. In fact, the other answer they give is, I want to grow. And then you don't understand when they say they want to grow, how do they want to grow? So I say, how do you want to grow? I mean, what do you mean? What does growth mean to you? And 99% of the times, growth means more salary.
That's it. That's true.
Nobody comes and says, I want to grow in my leadership skills. I want to grow to understand something. The growth idea is just that I want a 40% increase over my last job, and that's growth. Then you have to go and tell them, now look, you also need to learn to be able to grow. So
Preeti, I'm sure you're touching a lot of hearts while you're saying this, because everybody has the same pain point. All of us have the same pain point, and every time we're taking an interview, it's the same issue that how it's always about them and not about us anymore. And how the tables have turned. So Preeti, now tell us, since we are now getting deeper into the topic, what kind of changes do you bring? When I talk about that, I'm assuming there's a lot of competition. So what is unique about you, and what kind of changes do you bring in an organization?
Yeah. So what is unique about Pragati is a couple of things. One is a huge track record. So we are in business for last 33 years. We have seen all the upsides and downsides. We have seen so many times the IT industry has been written off. Y2K came, this came, that came, COVID came, everything came. We have survived. So I think what we bring to the customer is a concept of reliability. Like when they come to us for a training program, they just don't have to worry about it. Who is the person who comes to us? Typically, it's an HR manager, an L&D head. So they know for sure that when they come to Pragati, the training delivery is going to be perfect. See, finally, what you want is you place an order, you want the person to do what they promise to do. The very simple way. So when Pragati promises a training program, they deliver. Now, what does it really mean? It means in a very basic level that what you started as your objective of the training. Say, for example, you had a particular objective of having a skill enhancement done in the organization on, say, digital marketing. Okay. Then at the end of the 2 days, we should have a great difference made to those participants so that when they go back to their work on the third day, they are able to actually use their knowledge in their workspace. So our programs are not theoretical. We are not getting into the theory of how it was designed and why it was designed and who designed it and whatever. Our program, within the first 10 minutes, we start getting the people on the computer and say, hey, can we do this exercise? Can we do this case study? Can we actually do this pain area which you will normally face? Like most of the times I find people know Excel, but they don't know how to create a framework of Excel. So they will do a total, but the total will be done on the calculator. They will not even use the sum function, even if they know the sum function, because they haven't understood that by putting it as a sum function, further if any change comes, it is automatic. So these kind of frameworks they don't use. They are not able to visualize. And our job is to tell them, you're going to save your time. You're going to reduce your stress by learning it in the formal way. So we are teaching organizations to increase their knowledge base. After you do a training program with us, say 10 people have attended, suddenly those 10 people are from ignorance to knowledge within 24 hours or 48 hours. I think that's the value we bring. It's like totally, you come, you got the training served to you, and the end of the day, you know it. Now, when 10 people come, just like in any class, all 10 are not going to learn the same way. Surely we understand that. So there will be some people who become experts in that particular subject, and when they become experts, they are then able to help others while at work. Hey, I know this macro, can you come to me? So we also create a feeling of like people can go to this expert in their organization. We encourage them to create experts to go to them. So that is how we are changing the way the company works. Actually, the mindset of technology has to change today. In every business case, in every piece of business, there is technology. You cannot escape it.
Sure.
And so
Yeah,
if
so
you
Preeti, I want to actually deep dive into a little bit about your own personal. I know what you've done is a great value proposition for a lot of these companies and a lot of us MSMEs also who like us. But I want to also deep dive into your entrepreneurial journey. You started this business with your husband, right?
Yes.
And you come from a joint family. You've got children. Tell us, how did that whole thing happen, and how has that journey been? I know it's now never easy, especially in the Indian context. 100% it's never been. So we have a lot of women entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs who are listening to us. So tell us your story as to how did this happen and what's the message that you have for them.
Yeah. So we started from a rented house. We didn't have co-working spaces then. So I got married and IT was not on my mind. I'm a BCom graduate. My basic education is from BCom Podar College, and I did my MBA from Bombay University, and nothing to do with IT. That time IT was not even there. And I get married, and then I was in my job at NOSIL, as you mentioned, and I was between jobs and had to join Johnson and Johnson as a product manager. And I was like not even thinking of joining the business. And there was a particular training program I remember called as Word Star, and there was no trainer available that time. And my husband Pradyum said, "Look, now I don't have anybody, so why don't you, fill in up and teach?" I said, "Me, I don't know this." And I remember the entire night he taught me Word Star. And I recorded it and I taught the next day, and I really felt so good because we come from family of teachers. My father-in-law is a professor, my mother is a teacher in the school, so teaching is something which really we really enjoy. So I was like, okay, now I don't want to go for this corporate job, and that's how I decided to join. And that time it was a proprietorship firm, and then we made it a private limited company. I was the first trainers, you can say. After that, after a couple of months, we started recruiting trainers. So training, you can see it was Pragati Software Private Limited, but the business is training. So that is my value add to the business.
Nice.
Yeah, but tell us how this journey has been, being a woman entrepreneur. What are the challenges that you faced? Was it all that easy? Managing,
Well, it
balancing
was
work and
not that
personal life?
easy. So, yeah, I think women entrepreneurs of our age, and I will specifically say that the work division is still you are expected to take care of the house, and you're also doing the business. And the challenge, firstly, I found was more from the stakeholders. Ajit, you'll be very surprised. My employees itself were not taking me seriously. They would think, "Are this lady, pata nahi, she's come. First of all, she's the wife." I don't know why people think when you're the wife, you can't be an independent person. So I'm in this business because I'm competent. I'm not in this business because I'm the wife of my husband.
Amazing.
That differentiation is very clear. I'm here as an equal partner. I'm here as to add equal value. I'm here because I am competent. That's it. I'm not here because I didn't have any other possibility in life. कि भाई घर का business चलाना है. No, it is not that way. But the stakeholders tend to think that way. Whether it is the employee, whether it's the customer, whether it's the banker, whether it's any other vendor partner, the first impression they have is you are not serious enough. Like, we don't know, you'll have a child and you will stop coming. We don't know, you have some problem in life and you will stop coming. We don't know you're serious enough. So I think for me to change that mindset was much more difficult than the family mindset. Now it's of course a different story. You proved yourself and you walked that journey. And I'm sure a lot of women entrepreneurs will face that bias even today. That bias that, maybe, you don't have it in you, or maybe you're just taking the easy route. It was never an easy route for me. For me, I've started this business because I'm passionate about entrepreneurship. It's not because I didn't have an option. Of course, I had options of jobs elsewhere, like all of us have. So that story is very interesting. And coming on the home front, what I would like to say is that the support of the family is very important to a women entrepreneur. So if we can do something as women entrepreneurs to be more, positive about getting support, whether it's from the husband, whether it's from the in-laws, whether it's from even my daughter. So I remember in every award function, I always make it a point. I have got many awards. So in those award functions, I always make it a point to thank my family, because without their support, I couldn't have been here. So for me, it is the support of the family, specifically my husband, my mother-in-law, my daughter, all of them who allowed me to be there, who said, okay, you can fly, you can do whatever you wish. I think that's the important part.
Even I always thank my wife in every award function. नहीं तो घर पे डंडे पड़ेंगे.
Absolutely right. You're smart, Ali. I always knew that actually. Proof मिल गया मुझे.
Preeti, tell us about this global MBA that you did, and what is this Barcelona connection that you have?
Yeah. Okay. So in 2007, I got awarded as a women entrepreneur by IWIC, International Women Exchange Forum. So that's basically constituted by three associates. One is FICCI, and one is the Barcelona Chamber of Commerce, and one is the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce. So when I got this award, ESA, which is the college in Barcelona, which is a very well-known business school in the likes of Harvard, they had a sponsorship and they wanted to encourage women entrepreneurs about doing this program. And that's how I got selected. So I remember when I was being interviewed, they said, Preeti, you are 44 years old and why do you want to do this program? You don't have much work life left. And so I said,
44, no work life left. That's amazing.
You won't use this
44, no work life left.
Yeah. So they said, you won't use it. Our normal age group is 30 to 35, 36. That's what they told me. And you are much above the age. You are a woman and you are also, an Asian. I was the only Asian in class actually there. And so, how will you, we are like concerned whether we should offer you this seat or not. And I said, look, there is no age to learn, right? I want to learn because I see a gap and I think your course can add value to me. And so why not? And that's how I went for 18 months to Barcelona. And this was a global MBA. So it was like 2 months you stay there, come back, then go 2 months and you go to different countries. So we did Spain, we did US, we did China, we did India. So that was about my journey.
Ali, you tell a seasoned entrepreneur that you're 44, you're women, and you can't do it, and that's it. ये तो अभी करके दिखाना है.
True.
Preeti, tell us about your Ascent journey. You've been an Ascent member. Tell us about your Ascent journey. Tell us about your group and what value does Ascent add in your life?
Yes. So I'm from the first wave of Ascent. So I still remember it was 15th August and you very nicely it was done and we were so excited, all of us, and we were meeting our group for the first time. And then we named it Eagles, and this group has been a very, very integral part of my journey of business and my journey of life. Both the things. And why I say it is because the group, my group Eagles, has such an amount of bonding. There's a huge bonding. There's a huge amount of discipline we have. We meet every second Friday of a month on a designated time, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Our meetings are very structured. Everything is done systematically. We have speakers come in at regular intervals. We have offsites. We kind of know what's happening in each other's lives. Our families know each other. So just to say, when my daughter has come back from doing her MS at Carnegie Mellon, she made it a point to come for an Ascent meeting and thank each and every member with a card, and she gave a gift. It's like even the families are involved. It's a huge And she always says, Ascent is something you have to continue, like there's no way you can get out of this. So that's the value it comes to me. I can say many things, but I said my emotions have said. I can say
That's
that.
nice. Preeti, tell us a little about yourself. You spoke a lot about your family. A lot. You spoke. You already through the last 20-25 minutes. You've already said that. Well, tell us about yourself. Just about yourself. What are your hobbies, or how do you spend your free time? Tell us about that.
So I have two main pillars in my life. The pillar starts in the morning by a prayer and some spiritual routine, along with a fitness routine. So that's the pillar in the morning. That's like probably 6 to 8, something like that. And there's a pillar in the evening. I learn classical music. So I have my everyday class in the evening, say 8 to 9 something. So between these two pillars, life moves on. In the day, whatever happens. So I have these two pillars. So I'm a very big exponent of taking care of one's health, because I think that's very important to all of us. And if we have to go a long way, then we really need to take care of our health. So I devote that time. Incidentally, I'm thankful to Marico Foundation, because I go to the aquatic center at Prabhadevi and do my exercise routine thrice a week there. So thank you, Harshbhai, for that. And in the evening, it's my music class, like I told. So between that, life.
So Preeti, we've had a lot of our speakers, who have actually showcased their very unique talent, whether it's an instrument or singing a song or anything of that sort. Now, you said you were already practicing classic. We've never seen anyone play the classics for us. So can you actually give us a little glimpse of what you've learned and what you've been rehearsing over the past few years?
Yeah. So I specialize I work in a space which is called as Gurmat Sangeet. I'm a Sikh by birth, and my Sharma is because of a mixed marriage, mixed community marriage. So I learned the hymns of the Guru Granth Sahib, which are sung in a classical format. Most people are not aware that the Guru Granth Sahib is written in 31 rags. The prose is written in rags. In fact, that is one of the reasons you find in any of these talent contests, many Sikhs perform very well, because music is in our blood. And the classical, Hindustani classical music is something which we sing from a very young age. Very few people know that.
Okay. Go ahead, Preeti.
Go ahead, Preeti. The stage is all yours. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Ajit, flashlight is on her, yes.
Sa ni re ga ni re sa ni re ga ma ga pa pa ma re ga re ni re sa. Hey Govind, hey Gopal, hey Dayal Lal, Prananath Anath Sakhe Deenadard Nivar, Hey Samrat Agam Purana, Moe Mayadhar Andkup Mahabhaya, Nanak Par Utar, Ad Gure Namah, Jugad Gure Namah, Sat Gure Namah, Shri Gurudeve Namah, आँखों सतनाम श्री माये गुरु.
That is so amazing. It was so soulful. Yeah, it was amazing.
Every day of mine starts like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure this is how that day should start in the morning. Yeah, and I'm so privileged actually. So thankful that you actually played that for us. Amazing, Preeti. But this whole last 30 minutes has been very inspiring. And plus, we've ended it on such a beautiful note with a nice hymn, and you sound brilliant. So thank you so much for taking time out and being on the 35th episode of Ascent Talks. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure actually really hearing you out. Awesome. Too good. Thanks a lot, Preeti. See you soon, too.
See you.
Oh man, Aleem, I think at this rate we're gonna have become a music show also now.
Absolutely.
Man, you got some deadly talent. Over the last 35, we've kind of identified. So I'm sure Ascent did not know that there was so much of talent around within the.
I'm glad I host this show and not I'm on the show. I would have come across as under talented in this world.
I swear. That would be really good. All right, guys. So we've come to the end of our show. We are down with our 30 minutes. And if you liked our shows, go ahead, just share it. Just send it to another entrepreneur, and he'll be very happy to actually just get this motivation starting on a Friday. We do it on Friday so that you can even catch up our shows on a Saturday or a Sunday. And if you are a growth-ready entrepreneur and you want to be part of the Ascent cohort, now you've seen 35 entrepreneurs, so you've got kind of a feel of who are the kind of members that we have at Ascent. And if it inspires you to be part of our cohort, get to ascentfoundation.in, put in an application. The Ascent team's going to get in touch with you. And if you're truly growth ready, they'll bring you on board as members. Big disclaimer here, this is not like paying a fee and just getting into a membership. There is a process in place, and the Ascent team will explain that to you. So a fantastic, a fantastic 35. Hey, Aditi, that's great. I mean, I'm sure
inspiring mother you have. Great. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Truly inspiring mother, Aditi. She spoke a lot about you too. So great you were watching the show live. So thank you, guys. Thank you very much. And see you next Friday at 11 a.m. with another equally interesting story, another equally interesting Ascent Talks. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Bye-bye. See you, Aleem.
Bye-bye.